And hello everyone, welcome back to FPL in the Trenches, Frontline Prediction League in the Trenches. This is Scott, one of your co-hosts. Joining me as always is BeerMe. How are you today, BeerMe?
I'm doing pretty good. It's rained for like the past 2 days, but other than that, I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
That's not bad. It's definitely is more spring weather. We've had some high single digits, which is enough to make snow melt, so we're happy about that. It's going away finally. We've had our first Wednesday yesterday without snow in 6 weeks, so that's a plus. We're getting there. We're getting there. But yeah, this is the Frontline Prediction League. Frontline League on Twitter. Frontline Prediction League is the YouTube channel you're watching on right here. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll throw it out there and get it out of the way because Top of the Card Pod is our wrestling podcast. BeerMe and I were on that last night with CT, Red, and the GMSG, recording a new one on Cinco de Mayo. It'll be out soon. I know, actually, the last one will be out probably this weekend. It's just how our structure is. But check that out. Top of the Card Pod on Twitter. Top of the Card Podcast on Spotify and iTunes and all that fun stuff. So let's get that out of the way as well, because last night was a really good one, and you'll have to wait a bit before you hear it, but it was very, very good as well. But we've got a wrestling show this weekend, BeerMe. Here we go again, because it's May, and the craziness is starting. The absolute insanity of nearly weekly shows is getting closer. June's going to hurt. But it's going to be fun. I know I'm looking forward to it, but yeah. Backlash is this weekend. It's Sunday. Keep that in mind, everybody. It's not Saturday, it's Sunday. So I think the picks page is going to go up probably after SmackDown because we have time for that. So haven't had one of those in a while. Looking forward to that because a lot could change on SmackDown based on what we've already seen so far. Things like, as you can see on the screen, 6-man tag team match. Well, it used to be winner take all tag titles. It might still change to that, or it could change back. We don't frickin' know. All we know is if it's before the deadline and it changes, we can work with it. We can modify things. But once that picks page goes up, all bets are off. And I actually said it wrong. If it's before the deadline and a match changes, it just vanishes. But if the picks page hasn't even gone up yet and stuff changes, we're good. So if they change 5 things on SmackDown, that's what the picks page looks like. And then we announce a match Saturday morning, well, crap. Like, you get me? Once picks start going in, it's locked. So we'll go from there and we'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to it somewhat. We did talk at length about it last night on Top of the Card Podcast, which, again, you'll hear very soon. But our version, the FPL version, the Frontline Prediction League version, you can see that graphic there with Drew McIntyre and RK Bro and then Roman Reigns and the Usos. But our graphic has Bastion, the GMSG, and BeerMe Jesus.
Hey, that's me.
The challengers, I might add, across the board, because Bastion's challenging for the world title and you guys are challenging for the tag titles, held by me, and actually, you don't know this, BeerMe, but I've got it hanging behind me. I've got a belt. I'll pull that curtain back. I used to do promos with tag titles and like titles. I've got toy belts because I just collect them. They're neat. I'm not going to spend $500-600 Canadian on a real one when I can spend $30 on one that's a little smaller and still looks good on camera. It was for a video show I did years prior. But I printed our version of the tag title and I stuck it on it. So that's what's in my promo. So that's hanging behind me right now. It's the Continental Tag Team title belt. And there's some words on the board there. You'll see what it is. But we'll get to that match next. Because first we got to talk about James Costner versus Bastion. It's your boy, Bastion, versus the world champion. The rematch of the match where he lost it. Now, we talked about this a bit before, and I think Costner is going to retain. I've said that. I think he's got that momentum, and he's going to actually be able to pull this off. But it's Bastion, and it looks like a smaller card, at least as of what we're going to have for picks. So it's going to be like a 6 or 7 match card that matters, which is always dangerous. And that's what cost him at War Games, right? It was a smaller card that cost him. So I think Costner, this is all in his favor. I think he's going to take it. Now, try not to be too biased. With your stablemate in the world title match, what do you think?
He's going to even it up. It's going to be 1-1. He's going to win.
Okay. So do we have to have a rubber match down the road?
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but who knows what happens after that match? You never know. There's still something out there.
We'll see what happens. We'll see. The night could end with FBU holding up all the gold, which CT admittedly said when he made this graphic, he didn't realize that. He just FBU seemed like the ones to put on there, so that's extra fun. My job, along with Red, is to make sure that that doesn't happen because we're going to try to do our part to retain our FPL Continental Tag Team Championship against you guys. BeerMe Jesus, that's you, and the must see good guy. I almost called him that. The GMSG. It almost stands for that. The must see, the guy must see good. It's there. Right. It's there. The guy must see good, and BeerMe Jesus versus Red and Scott. That's me. I'm scared. We talked about this last night. I'm legitimately scared because it's a wonky show. You guys are such strong opponents. This is literally what we said last night. And you guys, one little thing off is all it takes to lose to guys like you and GMSG. So this is risky, and you know my history. I've taken a tag title from you, but GMSG's taken a tag title from me, and damn near everything else as well. So, it's different though. It's a new year. It's a new day.
New year.
It's the first defense.
Oh, yeah.
Match of the night will not be the first team to lose the tag titles in their first defense. Clip that for when it happens.
Right.
There's no joke about me being nervous on it. Honestly, it's GMSG. No offense, BeerMe, but he's beaten me a dozen times and I got one win. Or sorry, sure. I've lost a dozen times and I've got the one win. So yeah. I'm saying we're going to win. We're going to do it. We're going to manage it. This is our time. I have that confidence, but I'm also a realist. And sometimes Charlotte Flair wins her 15th title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just not going to win them all. That's what it is. So it might just be the next part of the story to make it even better for when I beat them one-on-one someday. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. I've never been too down on losses, but I really want to win this one. No offense. But what do you think?
None taken. Well, I mean, if we're looking at the card, do you feel confident in any matches?
We talked about this last night. No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird one. It's a really odd one, admittedly, this card. It's some rematches, but then some weird ones that... There's only one title match. And that makes it hard.
Yeah.
That makes it really hard. So, for me anyway, because he's not going to lose the title. There's none. So, yeah. How about you? How confident are you? This is some inside baseball here. We're literally opponents. How confident are you on it? I know about Charlotte, how you feel about that. We talked about that on Top of the Card pod.
I mean, okay, look, I know that we talked about that on Top of the Card, and then I just started thinking about it even more.
Yeah,
and,
good.
You know,
yes,
I'm not
excellent.
I'm not
yes.
not a little so sure on that.
Overthink it all! Yeah!
There's a couple matches I feel all right on, but like, since all these matches are rematches, not all of them are going to end here. Some of them will continue.
Yeah. Oh, Edge and AJ is obviously going. That's just kind of starting, right? And Bobby Lashley and Omos is just kind of starting. Like, they could go 1-for-1 in that, you'd think, right? They can go 1-1 or history.
Maybe Rollins and Cody, same thing. You know, maybe they all just continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the best thing we talked about before was when it was Madcap Moss versus Drew McIntyre, and that match happened twice, leading up to Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin at WrestleMania. And the consensus was that Drew will lose because that will lead to him versus Happy Corbin. He won twice in a row and still got to Happy Corbin. That was my, he doesn't have to lose to get there. He can still get there. And that's what I'm looking at a lot of this card. It's like the conventional wisdom says that, Seth Rollins gets his win back over Cody. However, it's Cody, and he's kind of on that run towards the world title. That's even part of the story. But does he lose and have a roadblock, or does he just win 2 in a row and make it undeniable, and then Drew...
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because there's no title on Raw right now.
No.
So, I mean, it's...
Theory.
Who knows? We're in a weird spot.
What do you think? Do you think you're going to retain?
I think we're gonna win, and hopefully.
You know how confident I am and how much I've said that you have a legit shot of just winning this, because you guys are very, very good. legitimately from your side.
Yeah, shot at retaining.
That's what I was asking.
You guys have been on a roll. Yep. I mean, one of the best tag teams around. So.
This is the time to beat you guys. Really, is how I'm kind of looking at it. So it's all perfect. When I realized you guys were the next contenders, kind of looking at it like we were kind of positioning. It was either us or you originally. I said this last time or time before that. As the Mania title shot, it's one of these two teams.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever isn't probably is next in line, and then it became undeniable. So it's like, oh God, that means either I'd be challenging potentially you and GMSG for tag titles or defending them. Oh, and here we are. It's like, this is worst case scenario, but unless we win. When we win.
True.
So there you go. We'll walk away from that because we're going to talk about a tournament here. We talked about this tournament actually a fair bit, so we're not going to delve into this too much, but let's see if we really feel here. What we got? We got North American Clash, BeerMe. We got round 1, Watson Rules, Cam Popplestone versus Monkey Bong. It's monkey time, right?
It's got to be, dude.
Cam should win this. History says he probably
Cam's been
will.
Scoring really well,
but Cam's been good. But Monkey Bong's been killing it. So
yeah,
it's a good match. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Monkey Bong.
I'm thinking Monkey Bong. I think Monkey Bong, he, like I said, he was kind of the alternate. I like that idea of him going all very far. On the flip side, it's a hardcore match on the other side, the American side of the border. FPL North American Clash, round 1 hardcore, Chef Urban versus Mad Elite Titan. I think Urban's going through him, is what I think. That's not to knock Mad Elite Titan, but I think Urban is going to make this where he can't be denied, and he already won a tournament, so he knows what he's doing on this, so I think he's going to take this one too.
Yeah, I remember when you originally asked me who would win it before I even knew the names. So I was like, oh, Urban will probably win it.
Yeah.
And then he was in it. And then in the last week, I was like, oh, I think Mad Elite Titan could upset him because I think Mad Elite Titan scores really well.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I'm actually going to pick, I don't know if I actually picked Mad Elite Titan last time. I think I did. But I'm actually going to pivot from that, and I'm going to pick Chef Urban to actually win that.
Okay. Next up, it's the other side of it, back on the Canadian border, north of the border. FPL North American Clash, round 1. Watson Rules it again. It's Tino versus Lexi Briggs. I do believe that will be both of their Watson Rules debut. If I scroll up, Cam obviously was in the first Canadian title match, but that was before Watson Rules. I think that's both of him and Monkey Bong's first, definitely Monkey's, but it was Cam's first Watson Rules also. So this is the debut for Watson Rules across the board. But Tino and Lexi, I think Lexi's going to make Tino time over. I think Lexi's going to take this. But Tino, thanks again for our theme song on Top of the Card podcast. But I think he could absolutely win this one, but I think Lexi's going to take it with the stipulation in mind, especially consider how Backlash is. Which, again, Watson Rules means there's no bonuses unless there's a tie. Then we look to see who got the bonuses right in order that they're listed, not how they happened. Ooh. So if the first bonus is, will there be blood? And they both say yes, well, it's right or wrong, doesn't matter. It's a tie. We go to the next one and say it's who tags in first. And Tino said Roman and got it right, and Lexi did not get it right. Tino gets the point. Tino wins. Like that's Watson Rules. So if there's a tie, there might not be. We will have an odd number of matches makes me happy for that because it makes it less likely for a tie because there's an extra odd number in there, right? So, but I think Lexi's going to take it. I think that's going to work in Lexi's favor. I think Tino's going to do well, but not enough to advance. What do you think?
I think, Tino's going to the actual show. So
that's true.
He might have that. He might have that in his. He might have that. That show luck favor. Since he's going, maybe he'll win. Mm-hmm. I don't think the clock struck 12 on Tino time yet. I think it's going to continue. I think the clock's got a little bit more ticking.
Okay. I like that. The other side of the American bracket, the North American Clash round 1 hardcore match. Mod Step versus Detrick Cyrus. I think Mod Step. This is probably the toughest one, just looking at the 4, because Mod Step really, he's been going that singles route and doing very, very well since the Creatures broke. Yeah. But Detrick Cyrus won that ladder match. Detrick Cyrus has been doing good solo stuff too. Both are former tag team champions, and again, Cyrus ended the reign of Mod Step when La Familia beat the Creatures. So, I think I'm going with Detrick. Honestly, seeing that. Modstep is the safe bet,
yeah.
but I think you put a little money on Detrick Cyrus and you can get a little more back. I think I'm going to gamble. I think I'm going to go with Detrick Cyrus.
Oh man, I like both these guys. You don't bet against the creatures, but it's Detrick who's been doing really well as well. I'm going to pick Detrick as well, but I think if Modstep wins this, he could go all the way as well.
Okay.
So I mean, this is heavy hitters for round one. It's so hard to. This is the toughest I think round one match to predict for me.
I agree. I agree. I'm amused. People seeing the profile pictures here. Tino and Detrick are both in red. You picked them both, and you picked. This is the other ridiculous part. You picked Monkey on the right, Urban on the left. Then you picked Tino on the left and Detrick on the right. Useless trivia, but I noticed it as you went through them, so this is kind of fun stuff.
All right.
We do have a one-on-one match. This is big. It's CJ Hawk versus RGX. CJ Hawk is Mr. Money in the Bank. He did lose at WrestleMania in the main event, which he earned by winning the Royal Rumble. He still has a title shot until SummerSlam happens, which is like July 30th, I think it is. Against RGX, the man positioning himself to go after that world title itself. We said before, a win over a credible opponent on a main show would pretty much put him in line. Like, that's the missing piece of the puzzle here. It's just we need that one last one to happen. This is absolutely it. The man who main evented, heavy hitter, Money in the Bank holder. If he beats him, he could literally be beating someone who could be champion later that night. Or soon. Yeah. Like, literally within 2 months, 3 months, this man could cash in and become champion. He could fail. But he's that position. And even regardless of that, he just main evented WrestleMania. RGX could beat him. That's the match RGX needs. That's it. I think he's going to do it. Not knocking Hawk, but I think RGX, he's got that tunnel vision. He's got that focus. He's going to make people pay. And I think he's taking it. What do you think?
I'm kind of inclined to agree. I mean, Hawk was having this run, and he was just doing really well, and then he kind of hit a road bump with Costner. And I don't know. I just think that RGX needs this win more, so I think he will win it. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, heck, Hawk could win it and just keep he could just, get back on the tree and just fly away, with it. So, I don't know.
It's a good match either way. It's a really good match.
Yeah. I think I will pick RGX, though. But it could go either way. This is a really tough match.
Yeah. Next up, we've got the Brits, Papa Snooch, J-Mac, and the Gaffer versus Honor Club, Great Wrestle, Alexander McKennedy, and Bane the Bissa. We talked a bit about this before, where you think the Brits might actually, as a trio, be able to take these guys out. I'm going with the veterans, Honor Club. Not just because we beat the Brits, but it's Honor Club. It's Rate, McKennedy, and Bane. That's a hell of a trio, and I think they've got this.
Yeah.
But the Brits are dangerous because the unknown commodity of known commodities. Like, we don't know what they're like as a trio, like you said, but we've seen these guys, and they're good. Could this be what they need to pull that trigger and turn that corner? That's a weird double analogy, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Honor Club is going to be too tall of a test. What do you got?
I want to say that too, but I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to pick the Brits. Just for the fact that it's unknown.
Okay.
And if they could win here, that kind of... It doesn't it puts everybody on notice on who the Brits are. If they beat them, and they can beat them convincingly...
They're legit.
Then they're legit. So
main show win over these guys, yeah.
Yeah, and then we get another faction that's legit, and that's kind of cool. So... Maybe, yeah, I'm gonna pick them. I don't know if they'll win, but I'm gonna.
You're pulling for
them.
them.
I'm gonna go with the Brit.
Okay.
Yep.
Next up, we've got the Antidote, Dion Blade, and a mystery partner versus La Familia, James Black, and the Alpha Dog. I think we both said mystery partner means win, right? That's history.
Yeah.
So we're going with that. Even though La Familia, that's tougher, but I think mystery partner means victory. I am actually still going with Black and Alpha Dog though. Like, legitimately, I'm picking those two. Dion Blade's great. He's fun. James Black, though, he's like a Lesnar. He comes in and he does well whenever he is here. And Alpha Dog's former tag team champion who does well as well. I think that combination is going to overrule the unknown of this. But you're still...
Man, that is
They're just
Yeah, you're kind of talking me into it a little bit because Dion's lost a couple in a row now, and but I feel like he needs to, I feel like he needs to pounce back up and get this win. I think I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with him in the mystery partner because this is an unknown. Maybe he brings in another heavy hitter or something to help him out.
Next up, we have Casey Warden versus Victoria Fury. We did talk about this one a fair bit, where Casey's been hit or miss, but Victoria's been very miss, but in weird situations. So, like, a straight-up one-on-one could be in her favor, right? I think that's what we were both saying. She needs that win more, but I think Casey's probably going to take it. But Victoria, this is her shot, and she definitely needs it more. So, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I feel like she had. I feel like she has to win here. I mean, I know I picked her against Ralentendo, and that was not the right choice. But I'm gonna pick her here because she kind of needs a big win because Honor Club brought her in or whatever. So I think she wants to, she's got to make a statement somewhere, and why not do it with your old faction member?
And on the kickoff, we've got some stuff announced. We have Jonathan C.T. Martin versus Wookie, which could be a big problem. Wookie could smash very bad. But CT's on a roll. I think he probably will take that, but Wookie he's a monster. That can happen.
Yeah.
Relantando versus Unknown. We don't have a name there, so he will be on the card, though, definitely. And then non-title match, Smooth Rock facing Gabby Hitchcock. So that's our Canadian champion in action as well. And then there's more to come, but that's the kickoff show. That is the card. So, guys, again, I'll say it again. The show is Sunday. So you've got time to get your picks in before that, once the picks page goes up. If things change, I'll say it again. If things change before the picks page goes up, it's whatever, and then the picks page goes up. Once the picks page is up, if things change, it goes away. It just, poof, it's gone. Like, if a match is changed by participants, it goes. If stipulations change, it still stays. So if they say that Flair versus Rousey is not I Quit, it probably stays. We haven't really had that happen before, but I'm probably talking out my ass here now. But like, that's still the match, still the competitors. That's still that. And I know I had one where it was a tag title match, then it wasn't, then it was, and I bet on the wrong team because it wasn't tag title. I thought, but it was. That's back in the JRPL days. That's my Impact history with who was it? The OGs. I think it was Hernandez.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and LAX. Yeah, that one burned me. I lost that. That was Impact. I think I tapped out to you there. But cause that was back in the submission days of Impact. We had those matches. But if a match changes after the deadline, so once that deadline hits, which is always an hour before the kickoff or the buy-in or the hour one or whatever it is, shows at 8 o'clock, pre-shows at 7, deadline's at 6, if that's what it is. If it's 6 o'clock Eastern, and then, 6:05 happens, and they change something like, I don't know, they put Brock Lesnar in a match, and they take him out of another one. 2 matches, poof, gone. There's 0. You don't lose points, it's just gone. Nothing. Period. And if you have already put your picks in for a match before the deadline, and a match goes away, everything's descending. So, like, we had that with the Gresham-Edwards situation, where if you put 7 on Gresham, cool, that's gone. Your 7-pointer is now what your 8-pointer was because everything descended. So, yeah. But please, Sunday, May 8th, get your picks in. I said 8 o'clock. It might be 7 o'clock. Keep an eye on it. Get your picks in before noon, whatever it is. Or be like BeerMe. He'll be in the chat. Go in our Discord. You can go talk to him. He'll be dealing with the FBU guys for 3 or 4 hours beforehand. He probably already has been. Right? Been talking picks quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I'm joking, but I'm not. I know he has been. So, Red and I have too, so I'm not going to lie. But get your stuff in for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Double or Nothing is the next one after that. That is May 29th at the end of the month. That is our bit of a breather. We're not going to talk on this one much because we've got time to get there. But we do actually have matches for Hell in a Cell. Because that's June 5th, and we're building towards it, and here we go. So Hell in a Cell. No graphic yet. Just got a logo down there. Hell in a Cell. We do know already the Hell in a Cell match for the FPL American title. It is Broken Nerd versus Roman Pierce. And we do already know the FPL Canadian Championship will be, as always, in a Watson Rules match, Smooth Rock versus Sebastian Escobar. Also, round 2 of the North American Clash will be occurring. But we've got some more matches to announce, BeerMe. I got one and you got one, right?
It's true.
You want to do yours first, or should I do mine first? What do you think? Not knowing what the
You
other
go.
has.
You go ahead. You go. You go ahead.
Mine
Go ahead and
first?
do yours first.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got the world champion, James Costner, if he is the world champion.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in a match. He could be the world champion. James Costner versus James Black. Hell in a Cell. Non-title. This match is happening regardless of if he's champion or not. If he is champion, Black's not getting a title shot. He's getting a fight. These
I
two,
like it.
these two want it to end. These two want it to close undeniably so. And Hell in a Cell is here. June 5th, time to do it. Also a Sunday, I'm noticing here. So, there you go. That is the big one for the world champion. Potentially, he might not be the champion after, this weekend. So, who knows what happens there. But what have you got to announce, BeerMe? Because we got till June 5th. We're not even talking who's going to win this one yet. We'll come back to that.
That's true.
Who you got, though? Who you got?
I have Rallentando. He will be taking on RGX in a Hell in a Cell match.
I think that's going to be very violent. And
yeah,
I talked about cementing his moving towards a world title shot. If he wins that, I mean, it's undeniable at that point, right?
True.
He's got to be, RGX has got to be on the world title level. But Rallentando, too, if he wins that, with all that momentum, that's going to be very good also. So we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that as we get closer to it, because that's June 5th. That is literally a month from right now as we're recording this, May 5th. Cinco de Mayo. So we'll come back to that as the time comes, and we'll see what happens there. But this weekend, we'll go right back up to it. Boom. Scroll up. Sunday. It is Sunday. It is WrestleMania Backlash. Stupid name, I know, but it is for the FPL. Go into our Discord. Go sign up. You can be part of the show if you're not already booked. Even if you're not booked, you put your picks in. You'll have a match beyond the kickoff. Then you keep coming. We keep booking you. You keep going through. Like I said, we've got stuff coming up. We've got Double or Nothing, obviously. We've got Hell in a Cell, as mentioned. Slammiversary. Forbidden Door. Money in the Bank. Then obviously SummerSlam. And I'm sure the Brits will be happy. Clash at the Castle. It's all coming up. It's all going to be a lot of fun. And there's probably going to be like another NXT in there. And maybe, like, I know Impact will be in September, but there might be an ROH show by that point. We don't know. We don't know. But we're keeping an eye on it. Don't worry. The moment something's announced, we're like, oh, new show! And we do research, we figure it out, we know what's going on, and CT makes a graphic within like 3 minutes. It's great. So, yeah. But BeerMe, any last words for this weekend? Because normally you'll say something like good luck. You might taunt your opponent a little bit. Very rarely, though, you might say something. What have you got for this time?
I would like to wish everybody good luck, and especially good luck to you in Red.
Well, yes, good luck as well.
Hopefully,
obviously.
Yeah, and hopefully the night ends very well for FPU. No. No. I hope it goes well for Match of the Night. I hope it goes somewhat well for FBU. I hope, the B part gets something. Not the BeerMe part, though. The passion part. I hope. I'm all for that. It would be fun to be able to do a promo taunting Costner, and I have a belt and he doesn't because he did that for a while. We're enemies forever. It's a thing. But the last thing I want is for us to not do well. And same for you, because I want to beat you guys at your best. Right? That's such a face thing to say, right? This isn't even a promo, but I'm like, oh, I screwed up. Oh, no, I put the wrong thing. I don't want to win like that. I don't want to lose like that. Right.
I have lost like that. It sucks. So, yeah. It should definitely be a lot of fun, though, I think. But, guys, get your picks in. Keep an eye out for it. It's going to be with an alert down in the put your picks in thing. I forget what it's called in the Discord, but it'll be there. You'll see it. Everyone gets tagged. Put your picks in. It'll be a lot of fun. And then be in there for a live event, because we're going to be there probably yelling and screaming. It's a Sunday. I'll definitely be there watching this craziness live online and crying and screaming as I lose tag titles or retain them. And it'll probably take until the last match, because that's how ours seem to go, BeerMe. It's going to be nuts.
True.
What if we beat you by a point?
I wouldn't like that. What if we tie?
That'd be a shame. And still.
Uh,
I wouldn't mind that at all. I'd rather win. But I keep my belt with a tie. So
it's true.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. That's staying. I keep pointing to the wrong side. That's staying. That right there. Damn right. Yep. It says right there. Keep this. Yes. So we'll leave it there. Thanks again, everybody. Again, this is Frontline League on Twitter, Frontline Prediction League on YouTube. You're on the channel right now watching this, but like, favorite, subscribe, all that stuff. Follow into our Discord. Come join in. We do more, like I said, with Top of the Card podcasts and just wrestling following in general. Like, Impact is on right now, and there probably is some live event chatter on that, building towards their show actually this weekend, which is Under Siege. Looks awesome as well. Lots of stuff going on. There's always a good community. We like all the guys in there and the discussion that happens. It is really, really fun to see what has been built so far in the year and a bit. It's great. It's awesome. And I like that it continues, and I like that people like it. And, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Well, thanks again for BeerMe. Have a good night.